Hey guys, Marcin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so today, there she is. We are going to look at the INT BRIANNE, who of course instantly transforms on turn 1 into RIBRIANNE, with her EZA now released on Global. I figured for the best possible team, I'm using the Zeno support memory, so obviously Universe Survival Saga characters get a buff. But I am actually going to run a transformation boost team, well, technically Terrifying Conquerors as well, right, because we've got units like Turles here, because this way we can float one of the coolers, and obviously he supports transformation boost by 50%. We can have Turles for support, and then I bought Rosie and Kakunsa to be her rotation partners. So this is the RIBRIANNE post EZA. Her super attack, she infinitely stacks attack and defense, does supreme damage to the enemy, and then seals. And then she gets attack and defense 140%, plus an additional attack and defense 20%, and all enemies attack and defense minus 10, up to 30% per Peppy Gal's ally on the team. So she's getting an additional 60% attack and defense from her passive. She also gives Peppy Gal's allies Ki plus 2 and attack and defense 30%. She launches an additional attack that has a medium chance to become a super when the enemy is attack down or defense down, and she launches an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super when the enemy is stunned or sealed. So obviously on a full Peppy Gal's team she would have better like start of turn stats, but I wanted to run her on a slightly different team for this one, just because I am going to do all of these Peppy Gal's units like individually, and then I'm going to take like a Peppy Gal's team into one of the stronger events, right? Like I want to do ESBR with the new units, and then we'll also try out like a red zone stage as well. So obviously on that particular stage she's going to be getting more of a buff. But she was already starting out at 200k defense, and remember she is an infinite stacking unit, so slowly but surely we are going to be building up those stats. Now we are fighting a super class enemy, so that means Turles is providing 40% attack and defense. So, but I mean starting off at like 200k with no links active for this turn is pretty decent, I would say. So once we get one of the two Universe 6 girls together with her, we should be looking pretty good. I think I'll do this solely because if I'm going to float off one of the coolers, I might as well have her start getting a little bit of build up and not actually have to take any hits. So I'll go ahead and do this, because if she doesn't take him out here, which I'm not sure if she will, she's at 1.75 on turn 1, I guess, because her and I was going to say her and Kakunsa. She is Rosie, right? I forget which one's which. But they're both on Transformation Boost, obviously, as well. And they are actually both 7 out of 7 link partners with RIBRIANNE. So even though they're not the best units themselves, I mean, this one, the Int one, I think it's Rosie, infinitely stacks defense. And so she can actually get up to being fairly decent. I'm going to keep the two of them as a rotation partner. I just bought the other one on the team because why not, I guess. But yeah, there you go. 7 out of 7 links. So now, yeah, we have 340k defense at the start of turn 2. So that's with her getting 1 stack from her super attack and actually having links active. And then remember, we could have more Peppy Gal's allies on the team to give her an even bigger buff than this, because the debuff that she gives the enemy has a cap, right? 10% each, up to 30, which we're getting the maximum of on this build. But you can see the attack and defense 20% does not have a cap. So on a full Peppy Gal's team, her stats are obviously going to be even higher than this. But obviously, you know, this team gives us access to quite a few really good support units that obviously are going to make her look a little bit better, because obviously she has the Universe Survival Saga link. So outside of the Rosie and Kakunsa, obviously there's the free-to-play STR RIBRIANNE and the Giant Form Physical one, who is quite terrible. They are all 7 out of 7 link partners. And then after that, we drop down to 4 with units like the Kawe, the tech unit that's on the banner, like TUR B-Pan, the Tech Android 18, AGL Bullpan, and then we drop down to 3 links. So she doesn't have the best links within like a non-Universe Survival Saga kind of like Peppy Gal's team. So I think we can go ahead and get you floated off here. In fact, if what defense are you at? Only 220, which makes sense, I guess it's very early on. We won't transform them straight away. The other rotation, this is just the off rotation that we don't really care about anyway, but I'll get Cooler to get a few more stacks in, and then we can get through some of the later phases a little bit faster when he's transformed, and start spitting out a ton of damage. So, I mean, he does 4.2, on this rotation, linked up only with Golden Frieza, who doesn't have big bad bosses. So Cooler, you know, still the GOAT when it comes to TUR EZAs. So now we have type advantage. And we're getting 50% support from Cooler, because remember, he against one enemy supports transformation boost. So we have 400k defense at the start of the turn. Alright, so let's see what her attack stat actually gets up to here. So we're going to get hit first, which is fine. We're going to take a super. How much? I'm assuming we just take double digits from this, right? Yeah. 4.4. So, I mean, considering the fact that she is also a Peppy Gal's support unit, if you're running a Peppy Gal's team, there's no reason, I guess, really not to run her, because she's stacking her defense. Obviously, if she's off rotation, it's going to stack up a lot slower. And she doesn't have any defensive tech outside of the stacking, right? So if you jump into a more difficult event and she takes a super on like turn 2, then obviously she's got no way to protect against that. And even against, like, say, like Broly, if you get all the way to the end, even if she's stacked up to, like, you know, 600k defense, she's still going to take damage from his super attack. So you're up to 400k already, that's pretty good. Turles with the extra support, of course, coming in very nicely. I tell you, when we start getting super variations of the red zone, where like the enemies are actually super types, some of these units, like I feel like Turles is going to be almost like a must-run on all of his teams, right? Because he's good defensively after he supers, and then you add that, him giving the defensive buff on top. He's going to be very, very good. I hope we get some kind of new Turles, because I think we are quite far away from the LR getting an EZA. There is a Turles form from Heroes, the crazy, like, long... It's like Super Saiyan 3 hair, but black still. So it's not like a Super Saiyan form. It's got some weird name, like Legendary Evil Saiyan or something. But that could potentially come at some point with Heroes. I guess there is also the Great Ape Turles, like, still needs an EZA, and he could potentially be quite good. So with no support and all 7 links active here, we are now up to 324. Well, actually, did either of these guys give support? I didn't check their categories. Yeah, see, she gives special pose allies a buff, and then I'm guessing Rosie either does the same or another category that Ribrianne's in. Yeah, she does special pose as well. Alright, so let's do this. I mean, to be fair, we're on, what, turn 7, and she's at 324k defense with no support. So I think what that really means then, if you are just using her as a support and she's floating off the rotation, like this point at the event, she's going to have appeared less times. Her defense is going to be lower than this. So obviously in those more difficult events, I think she could be a little bit of a liability. She's a unit that definitely will see some improvement, especially with the stacking and being a support unit, when we get some kind of Peppy Gal's like 200% support. Or 200% leader, I should say, because obviously we are only on a double 170 lead. So nowadays, when we start thinking about, like, you know, how good is this unit in the red zone, how much damage are they taking from bosses, does make a pretty big difference when they don't have access to a 200% leader skill, which would obviously make them much, much better. So I think we can go ahead and just transform my one now, just to get through these stages a little bit faster, because now that Cooler has transformed, and he's getting all of his links and 50% support from his untransformed version next to him. Yeah, he's got every link active. He can super attack potentially 4 times. He's infinitely stacking attack with each attack. Guaranteed crits against Pure Saiyans. So he probably wouldn't even get he wouldn't get the opportunity to super 4 times. Even if all of his additionals are actually converted to supers, I think we probably just kill him with the second one, if not the first one. So Cooler can just go off here and speed us. Oh yeah, there you go. Just get 1 crit for 5.4 million. That's pretty good. And now we have the support from Turles again. So now with support, we are built up. We're over 500k defense. So again, like, pretty good. It's just one of those things that, you know, even like this deep into an event, turn 9. You know, we would probably be at, depending on the team build obviously, we'd probably be at AGL Broly by now. And 500k defense means that she's still taking, what, like 600k plus, maybe, from a super attack, because it does over 1 million, and it's type neutral. So yeah, not necessarily the best for the most difficult content, but again, Peppy Gals does need a bit more of a buff overall. I mean, Chilai and Farsha that obviously just came out, very good. Probably, arguably, two of the best units on the category now, right? So once that team gets a 200% lead, it needs a leader that follows that archetype like Turles and stuff, right, where he's a support, or she, for the Peppy Gals team, is a support unit, because then it'll allow you to run some of these units like Ribrianne and like the Universe 6 girls, who are obviously both Universe Survival Saga characters, but they have, even they themselves have very different link sets. And then units like Launch and Bulma from OG Dragon Ball, and then like units like Chilai, who doesn't really link up super well with anyone else on the Peppy Gals team. So a 200% Peppy Gals lead would be good if they start looking at things like not only the classic support, but things like Kid Goku has, right, where he gives all allies damage reduction. The new Kid Goku on JP. I feel like that's the kind of leader that would benefit Peppy Gals hugely, because not only having that bigger leader skill, but then having some decent support with a bit of extra tech thrown in, then I feel like this could easily be, Peppy Gals could then easily be a team you can beat like every Red Zone stage with and stuff. So that would be pretty cool. Hopefully we see something like that in the future. I don't know how they do the leader skill so it incorporates like all the Peppy Gals, because they are on so many different categories. So I guess the leader would have to have like, oh man, I don't even know how you would do it. You could have Universe Survival Saga and then something else, and then Peppy Gals as the 30, maybe. But that's still going to leave out some people. Although, of course, going back to Kid Goku, with him having the 3 categories as the leader skill, imagine you could have something like Peppy, you'd have to have what, like Space Traveling Warriors, I think only Chilai is on that though. You'd have to have like 3 categories, I guess, and then have Peppy Gals be the extra 30%. But maybe there's a way they could do it. It'd be pretty awkward because of some of the units being on different categories. Like Chilai is a very easy one that could get cut out. Same with Farsha. But yeah, with 50% support, we're now at 580k. So she goes over 600k defense on this turn, which, as I said, for these other kind of events, not bad, but obviously not too crazy, and she's up to 4.8 in terms of attack. So could be a good support unit, maybe when this team has a bit of a more solid foundation, better leader skill, stuff like that. But overall, she definitely is pretty decent. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section when it comes to the INT RIBRIANNE EZA. So we're going to see her take a type disadvantage super here, and well, she does still take double-digit damage, so that is pretty good. Obviously, this event, not as hard, though. If we're taking a super attack from a physical, like the Metal Cooler Core, when we only have 600k defense, we probably are still immediately dead. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So, that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.